This is Detective James Chen. He's standing in the lobby of a luxury apartment building in Palo Alto, California. It's 6:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning in March 2024. The call came in 18 minutes ago. "We need police, there's blood everywhere. I think my roommate is dead." Chen has been with the Palo Alto Police Department for 17 years. He's seen murders, suicides, overdoses, but what he's about to find in apartment 2847 will become the most bizarre case of his career. The building is called the Apex, 28 floors, starting rent $4,500 a month for a studio. This is Silicon Valley, where tech money flows like water and 25-year-olds live in luxury most Americans will never see. Detective Chen takes the elevator to the 28th floor. His partner, Sarah Martinez, is already there. She's standing outside apartment 2847. Her face is pale. "Chen, you need to see this, but I'm warning you, it's bad." Inside apartment 2847, the scene is exactly as reported. Blood everywhere on the walls, the furniture, the expensive hardwood floors, and in the master bedroom, a body. Madison Pierce, 26 years old, data analyst at TechCore Solutions, Stanford graduate from a wealthy family in Greenwich, Connecticut. She's lying face down on her bedroom floor, 17 stab wounds. The medical examiner will later determine she died between 2 and 4 a.m. But here's what makes this case strange. The person who called 911 is sitting calmly in the living room, no blood on her, no visible injuries, just sitting there, waiting. Her name is Sophia Kim, also 26. Software engineer at DataStream Inc., also a Stanford graduate, Madison's roommate for the past 14 months. And according to Sophia, she has no idea what happened. "I woke up around 6:30. I always wake up early. I went to check if Madison wanted coffee. Her door was open. I saw her on the floor, all that blood. I called 911 immediately." Detective Chen listens, takes notes. Sophia's story sounds reasonable. Roommate discovers body, calls police, standard procedure. Except Chen notices something. Sophia isn't crying, isn't shaking, isn't showing any signs of trauma or shock. She's answering questions clearly, methodically, like she's in a business meeting. "Ms. Kim, when was the last time you saw Madison alive?" "Yesterday evening, around 9 p.m., she was in her room, working on her laptop. I said goodnight and went to my room." "Did you hear anything unusual during the night?" "No, I'm a heavy sleeper. I take melatonin, 10 milligrams. I don't usually wake up until my alarm." Chen exchanges a glance with Martinez. Something feels off. "Ms. Kim, we're going to need you to come down to the station, just for a formal statement. Standard procedure in cases like this." Sophia nods, of course, whatever helps. As forensic teams process the apartment, Detective Chen starts piecing together what he knows. Madison Pierce and Sophia Kim, both young, both successful, both living the Silicon Valley dream. Madison worked at TechCore Solutions, $145,000 annual salary, plus stock options. She'd been there for 3 years since graduating from Stanford with a degree in computer science. Sophia worked at DataStream Inc., $160,000 annual salary, also with stock options. She'd graduated Stanford the same year as Madison. They'd known each other in college but weren't close friends then. They'd become roommates 14 months ago through a Stanford alumni housing group. Split the $6,800 monthly rent. Seemed like a perfect arrangement. Two successful women supporting each other in the competitive tech world. But at the police station, a different picture starts emerging. Detective Martinez conducts the interview. Chen watches from behind the two-way mirror. "Sophia, tell me about your relationship with Madison. Were you friends?" Sophia pauses just for a second, but it's enough for Martinez to notice. "We were roommates, professional roommates. We weren't best friends, but we got along fine." "Fine, can you elaborate?" "We had different schedules, different social circles. We'd have dinner together maybe once a week. Mostly we just lived our separate lives in the same apartment." Martinez pulls out her phone, shows Sophia a screenshot. This is from Madison's Instagram, posted 6 weeks ago. The caption says, "Living with a psychopath, can't wait to move out." Sophia's expression doesn't change. Madison could be dramatic on social media. She posted things for attention. Did she tell you she wanted to move out? She mentioned it, but people say things when they're stressed. Silicon Valley is intense. Everyone's stressed. Martinez leans forward. Sophia, we're going to search your apartment thoroughly. Is there anything you want to tell us now before we find it? Another pause, longer this time. You'll probably find my prescription medications. Adderall for ADHD, it's legal, I have a prescription. Anything else? Madison's laptop might have her journal entries. She kept a digital journal. Sometimes she wrote things about me that weren't true, exaggerations, complaints. You should know that before you read them. This is it, the slip. Sophia knows Madison kept a journal, knows it's on her laptop, knows what's in it, and she's already preparing her defense before investigators have even found the evidence. Martinez keeps her face neutral. Thank you for letting us know, we'll be in touch. After Sophia leaves, Chen enters the interview room. She knows something. Did you see how she preemptively explained the journal? She knew we'd find it. Martinez nods, and she called Madison dramatic, past tense. Like Madison's online complaints were just personality traits, not legitimate concerns. Back at the apartment, forensic teams make their first major discovery. Madison's laptop is on her desk, still open, still on. The digital forensics specialist Kevin Park boots it up. No password protection. Madison either forgot to lock it or didn't have time. The most recent document is a journal entry dated the night before her murder. Timestamp 11:47 p.m. Detective Chen reads it aloud to the team. March 18, 2024. I can't do this anymore. Sophia's getting worse. Today she accused me of stealing her yogurt again. I never touched her food. She leaves passive-aggressive notes everywhere. She moves my thing. Yesterday I found my keys in the freezer. I know it was her. When I confronted her, she denied it. Gaslit me, made me feel crazy. I'm scared of her. I really am. Tomorrow I'm telling her I'm moving out. I don't care if I lose the deposit. I need to get away from her. Something is wrong with Sophia. Something is really wrong. The room goes silent. Martinez speaks first. So Madison was planning to tell Sophia she was moving out tomorrow, which from Madison's perspective was today, this morning. Chen closes the laptop, and Madison ended up dead before that conversation could happen. Kevin Park pulls up the file properties. This document was saved at 11:47 p.m. Madison was killed between 2 and 4 a.m. according to the medical examiner. That's a window of 2 to 4 hours after she wrote this. The team starts pulling more journal entries, going back months. December 2023, Sophia got weird today when I brought a guy home. We're both adults, we both pay rent, but she gave me this look, like she was angry, then she didn't speak to me for 3 days. January 2024, found another note. Please wash your dishes immediately. My dishes were already washed. I think she's trying to make me feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. February 2024, Sophia stays up until 2 or 3 a.m. I can hear her moving around. Sometimes I hear her stop outside my door, just standing there. It's creepy. The entries paint a picture of escalating tension, passive aggression, control, psychological manipulation, and Madison's growing fear. But here's the problem, none of this is illegal. Leaving notes isn't a crime, moving someone's keys isn't assault, being weird isn't murder. Detective Chen needs physical evidence linking Sophia to the crime, and so far they have nothing. The apartment shows no signs of forced entry. The security footage from the building lobby shows no one entering or leaving during the time of the murder, just residents coming and going at normal hours. The murder weapon hasn't been found. The knife used to stab Madison 17 times is missing. Forensics search the apartment, the building, the dumpsters outside. Nothing. And Sophia has no visible injuries, no defensive wounds, no scratches, nothing to suggest she was in a physical altercation. But then forensics makes a breakthrough. The blood spatter analyst, Dr. Rebecca Torres, calls Detective Chen into the master bedroom. Look at the pattern here, she points to the walls. 17 stab wounds, that's overkill. This wasn't a robbery, this wasn't self-defense, this was rage, personal rage. We already know that, Chen says. But look at this. Torres points to a specific area of blood spatter on the wall above Madison's bed. This pattern is consistent with the killer standing here at the foot of the bed. Madison was probably sleeping. First wounds were while she was lying down, then she fell or crawled to the floor. The rest of the wounds were delivered there. So the killer entered while Madison was asleep. Yes, and here's the interesting part. Torres pulls out her laptop, shows Chen a 3D reconstruction. Based on the angles, the killer is approximately 54 to 56, right-handed, probably between 110 and 130 pounds. Chen checks his notes. Sophia Kim is 55, right-handed, about 120 pounds. Matches perfectly, Torres says, but that's not all. Look at the bathroom. They walk to Madison's private bathroom, the one connected to her bedroom. The sink has been wiped down recently, so has the counter, but under UV light, blood traces appear. Someone washed blood off in here after the murder, Torres explains. They cleaned up, tried to remove evidence, but you can't completely eliminate blood, not without professional equipment. The drain is swabbed. DNA results will take a few days, but the evidence is building. Then forensics find something in Sophia's room, in her closet, shoved to the back. A black jacket. The same jacket Sophia was wearing in a photo posted to her Instagram 3 weeks ago. The jacket is clean, suspiciously clean, like it's been washed recently. But UV light reveals blood traces on the right sleeve, just a few drops, almost missed, but there. DNA swabs are taken immediately. 3 days later, the DNA results come back. The blood in Madison's bathroom sink is a mixture. Madison's blood and Sophia's blood, meaning both women bled in that bathroom after the attack. The blood on Sophia's jacket is Madison's, confirmed match. Detective Chen now has enough for an arrest warrant. On March 22, 2024, 4 days after Madison's murder, Sophia Kim is arrested at her office. The body camera footage from the arrest shows Sophia's reaction. She's at her desk at DataStream Inc., working. When detectives arrive and tell her she's under arrest for murder, she doesn't react with shock. She asks one question: do I need my lawyer now or at the station? Not what are you talking about, not there must be a mistake, just a calm, logical question about legal procedure. She's read her rights, handcuffed, led out of the building while her coworkers watch in silence. At the police station, Sophia exercises her right to remain silent, doesn't say a word, doesn't make any statements, just sits calmly with her public defender until arraignment. The arraignment takes place the next day, Superior Court of Santa Clara County, Judge Patricia Morrison presiding. Sophia is charged with first-degree murder, premeditated, deliberate, with special circumstances due to the lying-in-wait element. The prosecutor, Deputy District Attorney Michael Brennan, argues for no bail. Your Honor, the defendant is charged with a particularly brutal murder. 17 stab wounds. This was personal. This was rage. The victim's journal entries detail months of escalating behavior by the defendant. The defendant had motive, means, and opportunity. She lived with the victim, had access to the victim while she slept. Forensic evidence places her at the scene. Blood evidence connects her directly to the crime. Sophia's public defender, Elizabeth Warren, argues for bail. Your Honor, my client has no prior criminal record. She has strong ties to the community. She has a stable job, though she's currently on leave. She's not a flight risk. Judge Morrison reviews the evidence summary, looks at Sophia, looks at the prosecutor. Bail is denied. The defendant will be remanded to Santa Clara County Jail pending trial. Sophia shows no emotion, just nods, like she expected this outcome. As she's led away, reporters swarm the courthouse. The case has already gone viral. Silicon Valley roommate murder, tech worker kills Stanford classmate, the dark side of high-rent living. Madison's family releases a statement through their attorney. Madison was a brilliant, loving daughter who had her whole life ahead of her. She was scared, she documented her fear, and now she's gone. We want justice. We want accountability, and we want other young women to know that if you feel unsafe, even in your own home, speak up, tell someone, don't wait. The trial is scheduled for September 2024, 6 months away. Both sides prepare. During those 6 months, more evidence emerges, digital evidence that paints an even darker picture. Sophia's search history, recovered from her laptop. How long does forensic investigation take? Can police recover deleted files? Cleaning blood from fabric. How to dispose of a knife. Santa Clara County Jail conditions. All searched within 48 hours after Madison's murder, before police had even named her as a suspect. But the most damning evidence comes from Sophia's phone, text messages to a friend from college, sent 3 weeks before the murder. I hate my roommate, she thinks she's better than me, always bringing guys home, always posting on social media, acting like her life is perfect. She's not better than me, I'm smarter, I make more money, but everyone loves Madison, nobody sees the real her. Another text sent 1 week before the murder, Madison said she might move out, like I'm the problem, she's the one who's insufferable, if she moves out everyone will think she left because of me, like I'm the bad roommate, I can't let that happen. The trial begins September 9, 2024. The courtroom is packed, media, spectators, Madison's family. Sophia's parents flew in from South Korea. They sit quietly, looking devastated. Prosecutor Brennan's opening statement is powerful. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this case is about control. Sophia Kim couldn't control Madison Pierce, couldn't control Madison's social life, couldn't control Madison's success, couldn't control Madison's decision to move out. And when Sophia realized she was losing control completely, she did the only thing she thought would solve the problem. She waited until Madison was asleep, defenseless, vulnerable, and she stabbed her 17 times. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't self-defense. This was murder, premeditated, calculated, cold. Defense attorney Warren takes a different approach. The prosecution wants you to believe this case is simple, but it's not. Yes, there was tension between roommates, that's normal. Yes, Sophia made some searches that look bad in hindsight, but that doesn't make her a murderer. The prosecution has no murder weapon, no eyewitnesses, just circumstantial evidence and speculation. The trial lasts 3 weeks. Forensic experts testify about blood evidence. Digital forensics specialists explain search histories. Dr. Torres presents her blood spatter analysis. Madison's friends testify about her fear, how she'd confided in them, how she was planning to move out, how she was scared to tell Sophia. The journal entries are read aloud in court, Madison's voice, speaking from beyond the grave, documenting her fear, her concern, her plans to escape. Then comes the prosecution's star witness, Nicole Chen, Sophia's co-worker at DataStream Inc. Sophia talked about Madison constantly, Nicole testifies. She complained about her, said Madison was fake, said Madison acted perfect but was actually terrible to live with. But here's the thing, it was obsessive. She brought up Madison in conversations that had nothing to do with her, like Madison was always on her mind. Did Sophia ever threaten Madison? Brennan asks. Not directly, but one time about 2 months before Madison died we were at happy hour. Sophia had a few drinks. She said, sometimes I think the only way to make Madison disappear would be to make her actually disappear. I thought she was joking, but she wasn't smiling when she said it. The defense calls Sophia to the stand. Against her attorney's advice, Sophia insists. She takes the oath, sits down, looks directly at the jury. I didn't kill Madison, she says, voice steady, unemotional. I know the evidence looks bad, I know I made some searches that seem incriminating, but I was paranoid. After Madison died, I knew police would look at me, I lived there, so I searched things, stupid things, but that doesn't make me guilty. Brennan's cross-examination is surgical. Ms. Kim, you said you searched cleaning blood from fabric because you were paranoid police would suspect you, but Madison's blood was found on your jacket. How do you explain that? I don't know how it got there, maybe during the investigation, maybe contamination. You searched how to dispose of a knife. The murder weapon has never been found. Coincidence? I was thinking about what happened, about where the weapon could be, that's all. You texted a friend saying you can't let Madison move out, then Madison ended up dead before she could move out. How do you explain that? Sophia pauses. For the first time she looks uncomfortable. I was frustrated, I said things I didn't mean, we all do that. You said Madison's death would prevent her from moving out and making you look like the bad roommate. Mission accomplished, correct? Objection, defense attorney Warren stands, argumentative. Sustained, Judge Morrison says. But the damage is done, the jury heard it. Sophia's own words, her own motive, laid bare. After 3 weeks of testimony, closing arguments arrive. Brennan's closing is emotional. Madison Pierce trusted Sophia Kim. They were roommates. They should have been safe together, but Sophia couldn't handle Madison's success, couldn't handle Madison's life. And when Madison tried to leave, Sophia took the ultimate revenge. She took Madison's life. The evidence is overwhelming. The journal entries, the blood evidence, the searches, the texts. Sophia Kim is guilty of first-degree murder. Warren's closing focuses on reasonable doubt. The prosecution has presented circumstantial evidence, but circumstantial evidence isn't enough. You need to be certain beyond a reasonable doubt. And how can you be certain when there's no murder weapon, no eyewitness, no confession? The jury deliberates for 4 days. On the 4th day, they reach a verdict. The courtroom is silent as the jury foreman stands. In the case of the people of California versus Sophia Kim on the charge of first-degree murder, we the jury find the defendant guilty. Madison's mother collapses in tears. Her father holds her, relief and grief mixing together. Sophia shows no reaction, just stares straight ahead, like she's processing a work email, not a murder conviction. Sentencing comes 2 weeks later. Judge Morrison delivers her decision. Ms. Kim, you have been found guilty of one of the most heinous crimes. You betrayed trust, you destroyed a life, and you showed no remorse. I hereby sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Life without parole? Sophia Kim will spend the rest of her life behind bars. She's 26 years old. If she lives to 80, that's 54 years in prison, her entire adult life. As she's led away, reporters swarm Madison's family outside the courthouse. Justice has been served, Madison's father says. Our daughter can rest now, but no sentence brings her back. We just hope other young people pay attention to warning signs. If someone makes you uncomfortable in your own home, speak up. Tell someone, get help before it's too late. Sophia Kim is currently serving her sentence at the California Institution for Women in Corona. She has filed an appeal claiming ineffective assistance of counsel. Legal experts give the appeal less than a 5% chance of success. Madison Pierce's parents established a scholarship in her name at Stanford for computer science students who demonstrate both academic excellence and kindness. So far, 5 students have received the Madison Pierce Memorial Scholarship. The Apex apartment building in Palo Alto still exists. Apartment 2847 has been completely renovated. New floors, new walls, new everything. A different tenant lives there now. The case remains a cautionary tale in Silicon Valley, about jealousy, about obsession, about what happens when high-pressure environments, luxury living, and personality disorders collide. This is the story of Madison Pierce and Sophia Kim, 2 Stanford graduates, 2 successful tech workers, 2 young women living the Silicon Valley dream, until one of them decided murder was the solution to a roommate problem. Justice was served, but Madison Pierce is still gone, and Sophia Kim will spend the rest of her life remembering the night she threw everything away, her career, her freedom, her future, all because she couldn't handle someone else's success. This is the Silicon Valley murder, a case that proves no amount of education, money, or opportunity can protect you from someone who sees you as a threat instead of a person. Madison Pierce was 26 years old. She'll never be 27.